Hello, everybody, and welcome to Beneath the Table. I'm Matthew,
And I'm Jacob.
and currently our friend Tyler isn't here right now, but don't worry, he'll be joining us next week for the podcast. So, we talked about TVs last week. Well, to be more specific, we talked about old cartoons last week.
We talked about our favorite television.
Yeah, well, cartoon shows, not television. That's,
I know,
that's
I mean-
everything. But today we're going to talk about our favorite board games that we've been playing. So over the past, I would say 6 months.
Yeah, pretty much all summer.
Yeah, also this past summer, and I think a little bit before this, because this kind of started off when we first started playing Dungeons and Dragons with our friends,
Yeah.
and they kind of got us in a tabletop mood. And so we're going to talk about tabletop games.
So mainly, it's pretty much me and you that
We kind of shoehorned this whole
we were
tabletop
like,
season for us.
cause pretty much every summer we have like a theme of something we do.
Yeah, one summer was
Almost.
Mario Party.
Yeah, one was Neo Turf Masters.
No, that was still doing. No, that was
a different
That was
summer.
before Mario Party.
Yeah. So every summer we pretty much have a thing that we do all of that summer whenever we hang out.
As a group of friends,
Yeah.
not just me and Jacob.
Yeah.
That'd be weird. I think.
It's pretty much us two and like three other friends of ours.
Who you might meet eventually.
Possibly. And we like one year we played this like arcade golf game called Neo Turf Masters, which we will talk about in a future episode, hopefully.
Oh yeah.
And another year it was Mario Party, which we should also actually that just gave me an idea.
We should do a Mario theme episode.
We should do have like a Mario Party themed episode or something, and just get all the people that were there, and we just talk about the experience with wanting to kill each other.
Oh, I was about to say, are we gonna play Mario Party because
We could do it during.
That might get violent for the podcast,
It gets pretty violent.
and I want to keep it friendly, family.
Good point.
But let's go to table. But this past 2017 summer to be. So for the people in the future who watch this or listen to this, you know what year it is. We played a bunch of tabletop games. You actually bought most of the games.
I bought pretty much, except you had. How many did you buy?
I bought like maybe. I bought 3 games.
I got
this
like
summer.
8.
Yeah.
I got probably more than that, really.
Let's just talk about the games we played.
Okay, well I'll start with you because you
I started it.
you kind of started with Star Realms, I think. Didn't
Yeah, so I bought this game called Star Realms. Amazing deck building game, basically. So you start off with like a basic hand, and you draw in like there was a row of like starships, and you buy them with what you have, and then you kind of like attack your opponent depending on how much depending on what the card does. You get different things like health, money, or attack damage, and it's basically what the whole game is. If you want a better detailed look at it, you should visit Will Whedon's channel Geek and Sundry for their tabletop, because he plays that game with some people.
you? Yeah.
That's really cool. But that started the game, and I bought 2 decks so we could have 4 players. We never got to 4 players, but we played 3 player of it.
Do
And-
we not ever get to 4 players?
No, because I could never get you guys to settle down to play it. Because with Bartlett, he's like, I don't want to learn a new game, and Michael didn't really have time to play the game with us.
Yeah, that's a good
And I got
point.
frustrated with Mikey because he kept on like making up rules in the middle of the game. He's like, you don't know, I taught you the game. You're not making up these rules on me.
But yeah, so it started with that, and then I'm trying to remember if this was afterwards. I think I got Boss Monster next, didn't I? Because that's the first one I bought.
Yeah, you bought Boss Monsters. So explain Boss Monsters a little.
So that one's still really. I kind of want to play it now that I've mentioned it. So one day, actually, I think you were with me.
No, I was not.
Were you not with me?
No, that was Mikey and Michael with you.
When
you bought
yeah,
Boss
that's right.
Because you texted me and asked me, where did you buy Star Realms? And then that's all I heard from after that.
Yeah. So I went to Barnes & Noble with 2 friends of mine, and I was looking for tabletop games because I mentioned the idea. This is before summer started. I mentioned the idea of doing tabletop games, and they were like, yeah, let's totally do that. And so I ended up getting this one called Boss Monster, which is made to look like a
8-bit
it's made to look like an old 8-bit or 16-bit like
side-scroller
game, like a dungeon crawler. And it's also a deck building game, but the thing is you play as the boss monster, and you play as the main boss. And what you're doing is you're building a dungeon like card by card until
You get heroes to come through.
yeah, you gotta get heroes to go through the dungeon, so you can kill as many heroes as you can. I think if you kill 10 heroes, you win the game, or if you get hurt
Or,
by 5 of them, you die and then you're out.
or you win by everybody else dying.
Yeah, that's true, but that never happens.
Yeah, I only won 2 games, by the way.
I won like 4, I think.
Because
we played it a lot.
We played
though.
it, but I didn't win that often because
I remember the first time we played it, we had the rules way wrong, and we
I
thought
wasn't
like,
there for that.
were you not
time.
there?
No, I was at work, and then because you, Mikey, and Isaac played.
Yeah, me, Mikey, Michael, and Isaac. Yeah, that's right. And one of the rules is you can only build 5 rooms at a time. So like if you have 5 rooms and you want to build something else, you have to build over one of the rooms you have already. So we and when you build 5 rooms, your boss has a level up ability. Like he can steal any hero he wants from
Another
player or a town or
send people away.
or you immediately kill anybody that comes into your dungeon on a turn, stuff like that. But we kept using that level up thing for every single turn after we activated it, and that was way wrong.
Yeah, but
you only use it once.
In the expansion pack, they do keep those abilities.
Yeah, and some of them are OP, but not all of them.
See, I like boss monsters, but I find it gives me a headache because there's a lot of cards in it. You have a lot of cards in your hands, and you got to think about how you want to place things, and then once you build your kind of like room dungeon, it's like, and you don't want to improve it because you kind of have the best scenario. It's like this kind of it kind of got stale fast for me.
See, the problem with it is I think not because the expansion's bad, but once I added the expansion pack, it kind of made it a little too much.
No, because we made it because I didn't think anything's wrong with what we did. Well, we mixed up the 2 decks to give variety for each thing. I just think it's you shouldn't play it. You shouldn't play multiple rounds because you shouldn't play more than at least 3 rounds at it at a time because I feel like it just gets stale.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And Star Olymps is kind of like that, but
yeah, Star Olymps gets pretty stale to me.
It gets stale if you're doing 1v1.
Yeah.
Just because I'm gonna win. No offense.
Well, that's
but
true.
if we had 3 decks, there was like 6 different ways we could play the game.
Yeah.
With like 6 people, and that would have been more interesting because on boss monsters you kind of focus on yourself. You don't really focus on your opponents, and I feel like that's what a tabletop game is. You kind of focus on the other players and stuff like that.
You know, the one we never figured out was Welcome to the Dungeon.
Yeah, but we didn't have enough people all the time.
I hate how you're required pretty much to have like a certain amount of people.
You had to have 4 people to play the game.
Yeah, I kind of want to do that again one day. There's like me and you go to Barnes and Noble and try to find a 2-player game that we haven't played yet.
I still want to play Pandemic.
Yeah, we gotta play Pandemic.
I've seen people play it. It's really cool. Also, there's little like wooden blocks that you place everywhere to like signify things. That looks really cool.
Courts also looks really fun, but you gotta have multiple people for that too. But it looks really cool with all the different items and stuff you have in that game. What's another one we played a lot?
We played that Chinese chess.
Oh, Onitama. That game was great.
That's really cool.
I love that one.
Oh, if for people who don't know, Onitama is what'd you say?
It's pretty much chess. It's chess, but like the way it works is you have the master pawn and you have 4 other pawns on either side. There's a red side and blue side. Well, the thing is, you have there's like a bunch of cards you have, but you only use 5 for a whole game. And on the cards, it's got like a layout of where you can move the pawns. You can move any pawn you want to, and like there's basically on the cards there's squares that show you where you can move the pawn. And whenever you use that card, you have to put it to the side, and the next person grabs it whenever they use.
Basically, your cards rotate out, and you can play strategically by keeping on cards that you know you could probably a particular card that you know you could use to win or to evade. And there's 2 different ways to win the game. You can either win by killing the other person's master pawn, or you can play the passive way and like make it to the other side into the gate and win the game.
Yeah,
which has only been done once out of all of us, I think.
Yeah, we played that one a pretty fair amount too. We played that one. We also played. Oh man, what was it called? See, I feel like that one got stale with time. I'm trying to remember what
I still like it.
It's still good.
But it's kind of hard to play when you have other people around because it's like, oh, it's only two player.
Well, 4-player.
Oh no.
Oh, we're still talking about. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, we're talking about Okamon.
So there's only Tama, but that's pretty much it. The game is really fun. It's just really simple, and it's kind of like more of a. I love
it's
the
more
game,
of a strategy
but
game.
yeah, it's more of a time killer too. It's kind of like I have nothing to do. Let's play this. It's fun. There's that one, and then
you talk about Potion Explosion.
No, that one's good too, but we haven't played that one enough. I know
think.
That game's great.
We'll come back to that in a second. What game are you thinking about?
Oh, I can't remember. We played it a lot. It's the one where you read the book. I don't know why I can't remember the name of it.
Above and Below.
Above and Below. I still really like it, but I feel like it got stale with time.
It does.
Because it was awesome when we first played it, because we kept playing it, and then like the last time we played it, we were like,
we played it at my house with Cassie. No, it's a very time consuming game. Just setup itself takes a while.
There's a lot of pieces to this game,
and
it's kind of hard to explain now too. Now that I think about it,
unless when you play, because like the main objective of the game is you go exploring into caverns and stuff, and then you roll dice to see what kind of scenario you get.
Sounds a lot like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah,
when you say it like that.
But you probably feel like it gets stale because you played it so much. You probably heard at least over 3/4 of the scenarios.
And the fun part of the game comes with exploring. Everything else is kind of like just strategically building yourself up. It seems kind of tedious.
I like that though.
Yeah, I mean, that's like it's fun. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I like RPGs, but like the thing is, with Above and Below, it really does come down to setting it up and putting it back down.
Yeah,
it takes a good 15 minutes to set the game up almost.
Yeah, it does.
So it's a 4-player max game, and like you start out with like 3 basic villagers, and you can do 5 different things. You can. It's so hard to explain. You can build onto your village. You can train new villagers. You can harvest crops to heighten your income, because the more income you have, the more you win later on in the game. And then you have labor. You can labor and get.
Labor is just to get money.
Yeah, you labor to get money and something that'll heal, and then you explore. Which exploring is the best part of the game, because when you explore, that's when you roll the dice and you figure out which passage of this book to read, and it basically tells you about how you're exploring a cave or a cavern, or the cave and a cavern is part of the same thing, but like just you get to do different stuff, and it's really cool because like the person next to you reads it, and usually what happens is we read it in a stupid voice.
Oh yeah.
So. It was really fun for a little while, but the last time we played it, man, I don't know. I was like completely. I was not into it.
Well, we did other things that night, and we were kind of tired because it was like
that sounds wrong.
No, because
we did other things that night.
No, because
we hung out and watched Avatar, and then like it was really late when we started.
Yeah, we played that. We started at 9 something and finished.
It was like 9:30, and we were dead tired by the time we finished. It was like someone please end this game.
Yeah, nobody had the energy. I think we played the game a little bit earlier in the day. It would have been fine.
Because I still love the game. It's just
you should. It cost you $40.
Good point.
It's a good game. You should.
If you haven't
played it, you should go out, buy it, and play it, and then say it was defective and return it to get your money back.
What were the other ones you bought?
I bought a vintage set of Monopoly for game night for all of us, and that. Well, you were not a big Monopoly fan.
I found out why I stopped playing Monopoly when I played that night. It was like, this game goes on way too long. It was like 5 hours.
But we had 8 players, so it was bound to take a while. If you play with less people, it goes a bit faster.
Yeah, that's true. I know you got that, and I think there was one more.
I can't think of the other game I got. I really can't.
I can't either. We did play, the one I feel like we haven't played nearly enough is Sushi Go.
Oh yeah, that's a good party game.
That was fun.
I think we were the only ones who played it.
Yeah, we played it at church one day.
Yeah, that's a really like fun game that you can carry around with you anywhere you go.
That's just another really fast game. Like it doesn't take too long, and it's just fun. So we got that, and then
you got Battle Wizards.
Oh man, I'll be honest with you, that might be if not my favorite, it's up there. I really like it.
I have to be with certain people to play this game because some people just take too long, in my opinion.
That's true, but like if you get like me, you, Michael, and I guess Bartlett, because Bartlett doesn't take long at all. If we get us 4 playing that game, it's smooth sailing.
Because no offense to people who start new games, because I encourage people to play new tabletop games.
Well, for sure.
Because
If you
it
have
builds
it,
commodity among your friends.
yeah. If I will say, if you can if you can get past the point where you're just like, oh, it's nerdy, I don't want to play it. Get over that. Tabletop games are extremely fun.
It is.
Nerdy or not, they're awesome.
But back to Battle Wizards, the only problem, like the only reason why I don't like playing with some people is like they like to think about their moves, but in Battle Wizards, you're not supposed to think.
There's
really.
not a lot of strategy you can put.
You
into
just
kind of
like
a lot of it's luck.
Yeah, it's luck, and it's also like you just because the point of the game is you're a wizard and you build these stupid spells, and they're kind of inappropriate spells. Like the names of it sound inappropriate.
Yeah, I mean the game is it's like for teenagers really.
Yeah.
It's like this is for mature audiences only. It's not for mature audiences. It's just really immature game. But the thing it's cool about is I like the art for it a lot.
Oh yeah, it's really
the
cool
art's
design.
really cool on the cards. So basically, we hadn't even explained how the game even works. We're just talking about it.
I know.
Because we know what it is. So the way Battle Wizards works is you have I think
wizard.
how many players can it support?
It can
4?
support up to 6
Up
players.
to 6 players, which is a weird number.
It's not though.
It's not. It's an even. It's an
table
even
games.
number. So the way it works is
Your wizard, you have health,
yeah.
and you start out at 20, but it goes above that. But then you build spells up to so you have 6 cards in your hands, I think.
7.
7 cards in your hand, and you build a spell out of 3 cards or less. And then depending on how many cards you play, depends on when you go and other factors in it. And then each card does something specific, saying you attack the person on your left, and then you attack that person to their left and give them more damage.
And there's like
basically.
different things. There's like different stipulations for it too. Like you can only attack the person that went last, or something like that
or
too.
attack the person with the most health. And
Yeah.
it's basically a game to
You have to get really lucky to win. Like a lot of it's like there's not a lot of there's a little bit of strategy in it. Like I'm not gonna say like there's no strategy.
There's a little strategy,
Because if you
but
get
not
towards
too
the end,
much.
it's like I'm gonna put one card that does a lot of damage. And
or
stuff
be the
like
guy
that.
who like knows who can like kill off everybody in the game, and like you just need one card and be that guy who plays one card to go first.
Yeah, so it's really cool. I really like it, and I need to get the expansion for it. I'm not going to mix it though, because I'm not going to do that. There's too many cards.
Mix the expansion of that one.
There's too many
just
cards.
because they're kind of specific to.
Yeah, but there's 2. I think there's only 2 expansions for that game. There's either 2 or 3, and like I only have one of them. It's like the Castle of Tentakill or something like that. I need to get the first one, which I don't remember what that one's called because I haven't played it yet. So next time I go to Barnes & Noble, I might buy the first one.
Talking about another cool card game, I like Citadels. We didn't play enough of that, I think.
Citadels was really fun too. So the way Citadels works is you have
like 12 characters that you pick from.
yeah. And
it's 8 characters because it supports up to 8 people.
yeah, well the thing is that like you I've only played with 2 people. I haven't played with beyond 2, which I feel like is probably the best way to play it because I feel it's like really convoluted with more than 2 people.
I don't think so. So how Citadels work is you have 8 characters and they each do something different. And depending on how many people you have playing, kind of stipulates how the game is played. If you have two people, the least number obviously that you can play with, and basically when you have 2 people, they choose 2 characters from randomly and kind of. And then you build what would you call it, like a city state kind of basically.
Well, you're adding districts.
Yeah, districts, that's what it is. And whoever gets the 8 districts ends the game, and then you count up like the values of each district and stuff like that.
You get coins. You have 1 of 2 things you can do every round. Well, you have with the 12. Jeez, I can't talk.
12.
You have 8 characters you can choose from, and the way it works is you're not playing it. You're not playing a certain character. The character cards are shuffled every round, and there's 8 cards to represent each person. You have like assassin, thief, etc., etc., and they're numbered. So whoever has this little crown thing, which you get by
who's the oldest,
it starts out with whoever's the oldest first, and that person gets the crown in the first round of the game. And if someone has the king card, then they'll take the crown. So whoever has the crown piece calls out the numbers in order. If you're any of those numbers, then you call out who you are and you take your turn.
Yeah.
There's 1 of 2 things you can do. You can either
build.
No, building is you can do that whenever you want.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah. You can either get money from the bank or you can take a card.
Oh, that's right.
You can take a district card, and when you get money from the bank, you only get 2 coins. So.
Which goes a long way, actually.
Yeah, really it does. You build a district based on how many on the value of the district. So if there's 6 coins on the card, then that's how much you have to pay to the bank in order to build a card or build a district. and it just goes on until someone builds 8. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's more with more people, but
No, it's 8 still.
still only 8.
Yeah.
Okay, well the game probably needs to be that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that one was really really good too.
I think it would be really fun if we get 8 people to play it, just because everybody has because you go through all the characters,
Yeah.
and then like it's a bigger chance for somebody like to really mess you up.
Yeah.
I don't really like messing people up in games. Let's talk about games that I want to talk about. Let's shift it a little bit towards like games that we haven't bought yet. But I've done a lot of research on like tabletop games I want to invest
I haven't
into.
done a lot. All I know is there's a lot of video game tie-in ones that look incredible, but
The
they have
Doom
so
one
many
is
pieces.
so complicated.
Dude, the Doom one looks ridiculous, but I still want it.
Like, if you, listeners, go and Google Doom board game and just look at look at how much goes with it, because it's insane.
It's ridiculous. That and the Dark Souls one.
I also want to get I want to get the Dungeons and Dragons board game. That looks really cool.
Yeah. Well, actually, it kind of started with Dungeons and Dragons because Michael brought that idea up,
Actually, I brought it up, and then Michael was like, "Yeah, that'd be really cool."
and then he actually went through with it.
Yeah, he finally went through with it after me.
We still haven't finished ours, and it's been almost a year.
Yeah, let's not talk about that campaign.
It's fun. It's just wow. We
went 8 hours last time we played.
Yeah, that was crazy. I was fried.
It was
I was
fun,
like,
though.
oh, I gotta stop.
No, one of the game I can't remember what it's called. No, I know what the game's called. Next game I kind of want to get us is the Fury of Dracula.
I have not seen that one.
It's really cool. They play it on tabletop with Will Whedon, and basically one player is Dracula, and the other players are like vampire hunters, and all you have to do is like the vampire hunters have to find Dracula before he becomes full power and like takes over the world.
Yeah.
And like you travel through Eastern Europe searching for him, and like nobody knows where he is, and like he has like and like he can make cards mature and like gain special abilities. It's really cool. I think we should play it one day.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
What's another game? I want to get the game Lanterns. That's a really cool game for us to play.
I feel like I saw Lanterns.
I've shown you. I think I've shown you pictures of it.
Yeah.
It's basically you're building a Chinese lantern garden for a celebration, and like you basically all you do is like match tile cards together, and I like that because it's very geometrically symmetry and stuff like that. You know, playing these board games really was fun this summer.
Dude, that was like my favorite part about all summer was just getting together with you guys and playing.
Because you know what? We didn't talk about Pody Explody.
Oh,
Potion Explosion,
I actually
guys.
didn't even think about that. So Potion Explosion I bought on a whim, really. Were you with me when I bought that? You were with me when I bought that one.
But I didn't help you set it up. I'll show you
No,
this.
that game took a pretty good bit because you had to build that thing.
Yeah,
and I did that at home that
in Potion
night.
Explosion, you have this like tray that's at a slant that you have to build to put the marbles in.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, how the game is, you're like a potion student, and you have to build. You choose 2 potions at random, and then you have to gather marbles according to the color type on the potion to build the potion. And then once you build it, you can use the potion to like do special abilities and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, the thing was about the game is I bought that one on a whim because I really liked the way it looked, and it was like, oh, this has marbles in it. Heck yeah! Like that was like the selling point for me was the fact that it had marbles. And so it was like, all right, yeah, I'll get this game. I knew nothing about it, and like that's another one that's like one of my favorites this summer. Pretty much all of them were good.
Fun.
All of them were fun, but
I'll
like
still play them.
But yeah, that game was really really good. It's like kind of a mix of a puzzle game too, with the way like the potions are mixed in.
Oh yeah, it's definitely like that.
It's really really cool. There's that one. Yeah, Potion Explosion's really fun. We didn't play nearly as much as that because that was like towards the end of the summer when we started playing that.
It's hard to get people to play it because it looks intimidating.
It does, but it's actually not a lot to learn. So we had that one, and
I think the best game we played was Goldfish in a movie theater with your Civil War deck of cards that you bought.
oh yeah. I bought like a Civil War bicycle. It has like different. It has
Abraham Lincoln's the ace.
It's got like a bunch of as the royal cards. It has different figures from the Civil War times. Yeah, I know. I'm forgetting some.
I don't think
'Cause I had a lot.
I think we hit them all.
Did we hit them all?
I think we hit them all.
I feel like we didn't. I feel like I'm missing some.
No, I don't think so. We played a lot of console games too, but
Yeah, but we mostly played tabletop games.
because I feel like what people forget about tabletop games is it's about being with people and playing them. Video games now, as much as I love to play video games, you lost you really lost the ability to communicate with others in person when they's like, let's play online and I'm at my house and you're at your house. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I miss which reminds me, I miss playing split screen
games. That's why I like. I mean, again, I should probably say this for another time, but like they have games like Cuphead and stuff coming out where it's like almost strictly local multiplayer, and it's so fun. Like that one, I got this one called Super Blood Hockey, and it's pretty much like an old school arcade, like sports game, but it's obviously modern and like it's super fun, and that's like a kind of I think it's a local multiplayer game only.
Oh, I know a great a mix between tabletop and video games is the Jackbox games. I think we played this.
Those are incredible.
Those are fun.
We did play that a lot this summer.
Because we played near the end, but we played it with a lot of people. And for those who haven't played Jackbox, you should play it.
I think it's pretty easy to get people together to do that.
Because it's a mobile game, basically, and there's a whole bunch of games in it. There's trivia, there's there's only one trivia game. The other games are kind of hard to explain because there was a lot of details in it that kind of go with it.
You use your phone for all of them, though.
Yeah, and you sit around and you can and it's very fun and like you get people to laugh easily.
A lot of the games have to do with making somebody laugh.
Yeah.
It's all good stuff. If you haven't played any of the Jackbox games, man, get some friends and just play it.
Like, it can be as family
friendly.
Yeah, thank you. As you want, or it can just be
disgusting.
Yeah, as you want. You know, it's how you play it.
It's really cool. I like the Jackbox games.
So I think let's circle this back around. If you haven't realized, we do all this during the summertime because we're busy people during this normal time of the year.
Yeah.
I think I don't want to make every podcast have a lesson at the end.
We didn't have it in the last one. It was just kind of like, this is it. Okay.
Yeah, this is it. But I want to end this one on a lesson because, like, it shows you sometimes. I know as adults, we don't technically have summers because you have to work all year. But the summertime like, there's more opportunities to do things with people and, like, people you're close with. I say you should just always take some time out, and no matter how nerdy or weird it is, try out some cool tabletop games because they actually bring you closer together. Even though during the middle of the game, you want to strangle the person across the table from you.
And that's true.
They're making up rules or something.
Which happens a lot, surprisingly.
I know, you guys are all cheaters. Why not play with you?
But yeah, no, I'm definitely going to, like, piggyback off that and say, like, every summer we always do something that I remember.
Yeah.
And like I'm probably going to remember this one more than I am the Mario Party summer for sure.
I don't know. We had Steak and Shake a lot that summer too.
I think that was more the memory than Mario Party was really. But like that was just a thing we got together and did. It was like, which one are we going to play this week? Like it was like a thing we did like almost weekly.
Yeah, we did it weekly.
Pretty much me and you saw each other every week.
Yeah.
We made it a point to see each other every week. But like we did that, and then like every time any of our other friends were open, it's like, hey, let's just get together and play some games. And that's what we did. We'd always let's play this one. I'm kind of in the mood for this one. Okay. Like that, I guess. Like that was the benefit of being the one who bought all those games because it's like, come to my house, I have a table, and I have a pretty big table. Huh?
I wish it was a circular table.
That's true.
We should get a circular table because it would go great for tabletop games and for this podcast.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so pretty much, but from both of us, like just if you can, like if you're ever at all interested, find a tabletop game that would suit your interests.
It doesn't have to be like a fantasy game. It could be like.
There's a bunch of stuff. Like, there's one where you build a park and stuff like that. Like, it's
play Monopoly or Scrabble or do something with your friends.
It doesn't have to be nerdy. Like, it doesn't have to be nerdy or convoluted. Just get a board game and play with people. Yeah. Like, it's way more fun than I expected it
something
to be.
That doesn't really revolve your screen, I would say. Even though I love technology and I'm always on it. Yeah, but it's nice to get away from it.
Because that was cool. That was like a really cool thing about those games. Not really, no. And that was like one of the best things about it was that if you're going to do it, like you have to be willing to focus and like take time away from doing anything else and like actually be willing to sit there and do it and play the game. And also be willing to learn it if you've never played it before. That was probably the hardest part about the games. Is that like, I don't want to learn this game.
Nobody wants to read the instructions.
Above and Below was annoying. Like when I first tried to learn that game, like when it was just me and Mikey, it was like, because I really wish I would have had somebody who already knew how to play it tell me how to play it, because it took me forever. It took us like 2 hours just to learn the game before we actually started playing it, which I hope I explained it well, because every time someone new played it, like I hope
we kind of dumbed it down every time we started playing.
It's like, do this.
But it's fine.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's probably good right there.
Yeah. So, life lesson, guys. Sit down with your friends and have some quality time without screens, basically. And we end that on a sappy note.
Yeah.
So join us next week for Beneath the Table.
Goodbye.
Bye.